And I want to strongly encourage you, when you start your immigration journey or process, start do things on your own. Yeah? So sometimes it's a bit difficult to understand where to start and how to start, and therefore I had some videos explaining you how to start doing things. Also in my Facebook group, Israelis immigration to New Zealand, also did like guide step by step what to do in order to immigrate to New Zealand. And also, yeah, like I did direct steps. So some of the things that I see, people rely a lot about and on, people rely a lot on immigration advisors, education providers, all these things. I must say that, and want to encourage you to take your own steps first. So what do I mean by that? So I mean, if you're talking about visas, please go to the Immigration New Zealand website, have a read. The Immigration New Zealand website is made really well. They invested millions in it. They always getting it better and better. So you just need to follow some steps and see which visa you are entitled to. If you don't know which visa you're entitled to, of course, you can ask these questions further with people. So what do I mean by that? After you read the website, so you can ask immigration officer. Again, they have a center of calls, like you call in like you call in your cell phone company. You don't looking for immigration advisor or immigration officer to answer all questions about your phone or the package you need of the phone, right? You don't. So the same thing is here. So you read in your website, you understand which visa you want. If you have any further questions about the process and how to do it, and also let's remember that they have also guides and they have step-by-step processes, what and how to do. So use it. And after you did all that, so go and ask immigration officers on the phone. Yeah. So what about education? So regards education, New Zealand has really good website. I'll put the website down below that explains all the courses and all the options and all the universities and education providers, everything. Yeah. So you go to the website and then you're looking for the program that interests you. So a lot of people ask, okay, how do I know what to study in order to stay longer in New Zealand and get the residency visa? How to convert the student visa and the work visa to residency visa? So all depends if you choose the right profession according to your skills and background. Of course, the best thing is to build that background in the beginning. Let's say starting from scratch, from zero, you don't have any experience in profession, so you can check beforehand what New Zealand needed and then work on yourself to get this experience and education and all the requirements. Yeah. That's, for example, what I did. I knew that the social services in New Zealand, Australia is in high demand, so I initially started studying social work. I checked that New Zealand and Australia approve Ben Gurion University diplomas. So when I come here, I can convert it to social work and get registration and do all this process. I did it beforehand. That's why every time I apply for 5-6 visas. My current visa is permanent residency. All my visas been approved a lot faster and quicker than the time that usually you need to spend on it. But let's say you use an immigration advisor or education provider, so you will be dependent on their time of availability, so your application won't be a priority because they have a lot of other applications. So you kind of have a middleman between immigration that also kind of takes time. Everything takes time. So that's why when you do things by yourself, it's always quicker. Well, most of the time it's quicker, but from my experience, it's a lot quicker, more efficient, and the most important thing is you control of the process. Because what happens when you take an immigration advice, so your documents with him, and he sends the documents to immigration, he communicates between the immigration and you. So you don't know what is happening. What about the education? Education, you can get all the process of student visa and accepted to university in a few weeks. It's very quick. But what is not quick is to recognize what you want to study, that you will enjoy doing, and New Zealand needs. Because there are a lot of occupations in demand in New Zealand. And you want to choose something that you would like to do, earn enough money, and give you the best chances to get residency. So let's say, how do you combine that? So first of all, statistics is important. So if you're not sure about who is getting the most residency applications, go to my video and of statistic immigration New Zealand 2018 that I did last year, and have a look. I did statistics of the important statistics of who is getting the most residency applications visa approved, which occupations. Of course, it's important to note that that's going to change, because now Ministry of Innovation of Business doing their own updates and check of the market, because a lot of people lose their job because of the corona. So we can't ignore that and continue as usual, right? So that's why I said in my previous video, you need to be a bit patient. You can't make plans for 3 years, for the next 3 years, as long as you don't know how the market behaves at the moment. But there are certain industries, you know, there is high chance will still be in demand, like all the medical and social services. The government investing lots of money into that. Also, the Green Party decided to invest lots of money into things that regards nature and preserve of nature. So will be some occupations and some demands in that. Dairy farming, that also will be in kind of in high demand. So this is something you can predict. So when you kind of want to see or plan something in the future, see where is the money goes, where the government spend their billions, and then you can kind of find how can you answer the needs of New Zealand. And when you answer the occupational needs of New Zealand, you receive residency, because your skills in shortage and they are in high demand. That's the simple game of immigration. Regards education, so companies who are education consulting, they have agreements with universities that give them some kind of fee if they send you a student and he's registering. Yeah, so that's hard work, I agree. But I must say that I've seen different cases in the past regards education, that the education providers actually help people with studies, but this diploma actually not worth much after they finish. Maybe they receive their visa, but it's not worth much because the education provider changed or closed or changed their name. And then who wants to have a diploma from education provider that already not exist? One good example is NTEC. So when I was checking for studies in 2015, I wanted to study further in New Zealand family and therapy counseling. So the program was kind of nice, and I loved the content, and the price was really good. Yeah, and I already passed the interview. Yeah, strange, was the interview quite easy to pass. Also kind of thinking like, what's anyway, and eventually I didn't go to that program. Eventually I decided to go to more expensive program under some government institutions that afterwards it's like universities. Yeah, so I decided to go something in the middle. And also the process with them was quite easy. They gave me really good advice, and also answered me so many questions about further, about registration, about getting work and all these things. Gave me so much information. I was really happy. I must say I also consulted with some education providers, but the amount of information that universities and institutes gave me, nothing to compare to what education consulting agencies gave me. A lot more. Anyway, so I went there, and what I saw the next year, this education provider and this diploma about the family counseling closed down. Yeah, was no such program or diploma anymore. So that's what I'm trying to say. A lot of people kind of starting to get scared that, oh, this is so difficult process and we don't know so many things. It's all right. The first thing that I recommend to do is not to panic or get stressed about it's hard, too much information, and run to all the agencies and immigration advisors that will save your and lower your anxiety and will tell you exactly what and how to do. I have news for you. A lot of people don't actually know what is going to happen or what is the next part. They don't know. Yeah, because who knows now? Like still the after the corona lockdown, after a lot of people lost their jobs, yeah, so the labor market is not tested yet. We don't know, so we need to wait and not to take risks. But of course it's possible to start researching and wait for the right time. I'm sure soon will be some kind of updates. Yeah, start the process and just read and educate yourself. So it's like same when you go into a doctor, you expect that the doctor will know from the 10-15 minutes conversation that you will meet him, he will know how to solve your health. Nah, he won't know that because he's not familiar with your body. He has hundreds of other patients. So that's why you need to be the most professional, educated person about yourself and your body. Same thing about immigration. If you finished Israeli school or any other school, or at least like any initial degree, all the information about immigration process and the studies, it's like, look at it as an assignment that you need to do for school or for your for school or university. It's the same thing. You need to put some effort reading all this information, of course, but it will be worth it. You will feel more in control and your process will be a lot faster. Because when you take in service of someone, you will feel a bit pressure to go and trust what he's saying, and automatically you go into a place that you don't know and he knows more. And that's all right. In some point you'll need to do it. Yeah? In some point you need to go to immigration advisor and sort things out. And in my video before, when to take immigration advice, I already explained when is that moment is. So really in this video I want to encourage you to take your power back and remember that you are able to do the immigration process for yourself. There is plenty of help available for free that gives you really good and quick results. And that's what I actually teach in consultations with me. I'm trying to explain the person what is the process for him to uncover, yeah, where he's standing, what he needs to do in order to start and do the things by himself. And I show him how easy it is. Yeah, when you kind of doing the right steps, so you are able to do it quite easily. So that's what I'm teaching, like how and what you need to do in order to find the profession that you will really love to do, how to check what are the right professions for the next time, where to find all this information. That's what I'm guiding people to do. Yeah, not to do the things for themselves that will be dependent on someone, but they will know how to do all these processes by themselves and will be completely confident. And even if they will have questions in the next years, so they will know how to do it by themselves and they won't need me. Of course, financially, I will want that people will be dependent on my advice and my services, but I'll prefer to have some kind of appointment that is just enough for the person and then he can carry on with his own life. Actually doing the same things in... Oh, that's beautiful. Actually doing the same things in my mental health and therapy. So the person can't function in his life, and I'm just helping and showing him, of course you can. This is your strengths, this is your gifts, use them. You don't need someone to tell you how to live life in the best way. Yeah? Just do it. Believe me, your process will be a lot faster after you finish the foundations that you need. Yeah? Your process will be a lot faster. And everything that I'm telling you is coming from experience. Everything that I tell you coming from experience. Experience with immigration advisors, experience with education providers, experience with many other people that I was working with. So also, when you should also take help in your immigration process, you definitely need to take help socially, because immigration it's a not easy process psychologically. You come into a new country and you're completely by yourself. So regards all the social, go to people, ask people, you know, to move things from one house to another, ask about different rules regards accommodation, how to find accommodation, all these things. That's something, of course, you should ask for help. Yeah? All the settlement process, actually you need ask for help. This I really strongly recommend you to do it, because that's a basic everyday need. So I wish you all the best. If you have any questions, let me know.